Communication Styles by Priscilla Deris Ochoa, Communications 150, December 7th, 2025. And I'm so sorry if I sound a little bit weird. I did recently lose my voice this weekend, but I'm still trying to get this presentation done. So the gestures example I used was Mr. Holland. Nonverbal communication. A negative example of gestures, and I did spell that wrong. I'm so sorry. Gestures right there. I'll fix that. Mr. Holland struggles to understand that since his son is deaf, they might have a communication barrier and it is difficult for both of them. He lashes out on his son rather than trying to empathize with him. The son, realizing the father doesn't want to understand, opens the window so his sheet music goes out, also expressing his frustration. They both fail to attempt to communicate effectively. I understand the son is deaf. However, that is not in his control. What is nonverbal communication? Nonverbal communication is when you express yourself to others without physically saying anything. An example in the text says, communicating nonverbally is particularly critical for people who lack language skills, such as infants, who can only vocalize without words, and for individuals with certain types of neurological problems, such as stroke, that limit their language use. But even people with language ability depend immensely on nonverbal communication. The Tibbet. Culture and communication styles. We will define culture as the system of learned and shared symbols, language, values, and norms that distinguish one group of people from another. The definition tells us that culture isn't a property of countries or ethnicities or economic classes. Rather, it's a property of people. Each of us identifies with one or more groups that have a common culture comprising a shared language, values, beliefs, traditions, and customs. We refer to the group of people who share a given as a society, and that's in the text. Okay. Communication principles through culture. A positive example in which both people learn from each other. The man doesn't understand why the Tibbet worships worms. The boy explains to him that it is their mother in a past life. The boy wants to learn about the man's culture and explain he wants a movie room to watch films. Culture can indirectly affect communication. The man didn't know killing worms is wrong. The boy wants to learn about the man's culture and asks about Jack the Ripper and Paris, even if it has nothing to do with the man. Gestures. Gestures are natural body movements that you use to express yourself. The gesture in this example, the facial expression, and the boy does not understand why the Tibbet are acting that way. The boy seems to be smiling, realizing the man does not understand what he did wrong. And then the references is the textbook. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and I hope I didn't rush too much through it. Like I said, I did lose my voice, so I'm trying not to cough throughout this. Thank you.